DBSCG things.
What's up, Yuhp gang? It's your boy Taxon, and welcome back to Yuhp DBSCG things. And today we're going over another very exciting battle, guys. It's going to be round 3 and the final of our local this week. This is going to be Supreme Kai of Time versus Cumber. But before we get into it, guys, I do want to say if you guys want any custom mats and or sleeves, absolutely check out Promats, guys. This is the best place to go get your custom card needs, and if you guys do decide to get a mat from them, make sure you guys use the promo code Yuhp to save on your entire order. With that being said, guys, if you guys enjoyed this battle or my content in general, remember to hit all those buttons for me, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. And with that being said, let's turn it around and dive in. Alrighty, you guys, and here we are with round 3 and the finals of our locals this week. We have Supreme Kai on the left side versus Cumber on the right. Starting this game off for us is Kai, charging and then passing his turn over to Cumber. Cumber starting off his turn by making himself a charge, and then more than likely playing himself a 1 cost of some sort to search. Nope, starting off with a leader swing to draw a card. Staying there at the 10k, I believe. That damage is landing over on Supreme Kai, going down to 7, and then we see the pass turn. Going into turn 2 for Kai here. Charging ourselves in energy, starting off by swinging with the leader, bursting 3, and then drawing a card. We're going to see the combo from Evil Saying in order to get to 15, and then Z charge. We're going to see the 1 energy investment for the Unison for Kai. Overarm 3 on Vegeta Revive Ravager, auto on him, burst 3, auto on the Unison, burst 1. Swinging with the Vegeta Revive Ravager, that crit does go to the drop area. We see another Overarm 3 behind that coming out with the Trunks Time Regulator, drawing 2 and then warping 1 from hand, swinging 15k into the leader afterwards. We're going to see the activation of I don't even know what that did. I don't even know if you can play that right now. I think you have to have a Z card in play or a Z leader or something like that, but I may be incorrect on that. Anyways, Kai does pass turn after putting Cumber down to 6 life, and then his overarms go to the warp. Going into turn 2 here for Cumber. Starting off by paying 1. Going into the Z card with the Z stack, Z stacking himself up the 2 cost Cumber. We're going to awaken the leader now. We have that guy in play. Untap 1, draw 1, go down to 6 life. Swinging with the leader into, I believe, the Unison. Yep, that damage does get dropped. Going down a marker, drawing a card off the auto. Of course, we do have the activation of the dual attacker right afterwards. Activate main limit 1 for 1 energy. You can play this guy from your hand. I do believe your opponent has to have a battle card in play, so that may be a small misplay. Leave in the comments below if there is a restriction on the play of that card. Like I said, I do believe you have to have a battle card in play. Your opponent has to have a battle card in play. But anyway, swinging those 2 19ks into the leader. Damages are dealt. Turn is passed. 1 energy up, probably saving that for some type of negate. Definitely want to hold on to some sort of defensives when you're going into a turn like this for Supreme Kai. Starting his turn off by swinging with the leader, we're going to see a burst 3 and then draw 1. Looks like he's debating on if swinging into the 19k is worth it or not. Looks like that's where he's choosing to swing into. Bursting 3, he does get his draw card. He does have 8 in the warp due to his 2 overarms and the 6 cards he bursted within the turn 2. So I imagine we see the awaken here. Yep, we flip, draw 2. That's a 15. We'll see if we see a combo at all in order to try to kill the 19k dual attacker. Looks like we choose not to combo. Looks like here we're paying 1 to discard a card from our hand in order to play our Unison. Here we're starting off with an Overarm 6. This is a double strike crit man on the mission Goku. Getting the Unison effect and the leader's effect. Move 3, burst 1. Swinging with the 20k double strike crit. We'll see what Cumber does in order to survive this attack or stop this attack. Looks like he does combo the Goku. The Goku does play into the opponent's battle area while giving the Cumber leader 10,000 power. So that is 25 getting out of that attack and then playing him into the opponent's battle area. Just using him there to swing into the Cumber 19k. That unfortunately is negated with the Vegeta blocker 10k, which is a pretty solid setup there, but putting both Goku and Vegeta into his opponent's battle area for future things like his Patara and whatnot, and also just being not Overlord targets as well. Very, very powerful for Cumber here. We're going to see one energy investment. Nope. It looks like we're going to see the uptick on the Unison going to 2 markers, moving from warp to the drop area. Looks like we're going to see 1 energy in order to overwhelm Bardock the Tenacious. Of course, this is essentially Nimbus, but for a battle card. This bad boy does, of course, put a restriction on your opponent's amount of battle card attacks for their following turn, which is pretty nice, also providing a 25k attacker. Directly after that, of course, we do see the leader effect in order to crit a life and then force his overwhelms to stay in play this battle during this turn. So, of course, when he passes turn, the overwhelm skill does not get rid of him, leaving those guys in field and kind of setting up for more aggression on his next turn. So we'll see what Cumber decides to do in order to try to combat some of this aggression that Kai is putting out. In case you guys have been wondering what is the better black deck, we are in the midst of finding out right now. We're going 1 energy here to play out the Cumber from underneath the Fu. Of course, this guy on play chooses the battle card and gives it Servant. We're going to see the Fu Overlord effect directly after that in order to get rid of that double strike critical and draw a card in the process. Swinging for 15k at the leader. Of course, this guy's auto will proc again, choosing another card and giving it Servant. It looks like there he targeted his Goku. Looks like choosing not to attack, actually. Debating on what to do here. His hand size did get quite low after trying to defend all that aggression that Kai put out early. So it looks like he does use his leader's effect in order to give that Goku Servant. And then we're going to see the pay 2 effect in order to play Fu. Fu, very powerful card, giving coming out for 2 energy, being a 20k critical attack, and then having Overlord himself in order to go ahead and get bottom deck that Goku that he gave Overlord with his leader and draw a card in the process. Did tap himself out, so things are a little bit risky while going into such an aggressive deck's turn 4. So it looks like starting off by swinging with a 25k, this guy does get stopped by support of the Dark Empire. This does play a blocker. Swinging with the leader next, that does get blocked. Blocker almost didn't even get to see play because it was activating his blocker skill so quickly. Going into the activate main skill for Trunks, this is a top 5 search. Grab yourself a Saiyan card or your Unison and then play him into the opponent's battle area. Your opponent will draw 1 and then discard 1. So we'll see what Cumber decides to do for the rest of this turn here. He does have a 20k crit in play. He does have a 15k attacker in play as well. He did use his battle card attack already with that Z card, so not able to attack with those because of the effect from Bardock the Tenacious, definitely leaving them in field and kind of making use out of that overwhelm in general, just to force his opponent to play a lot more passively. Going into turn 4 here for Supreme Kai of Time. A very pivotal turn here. Of course, things like the secret rare can come out and just big things that cost energy other than just the overwhelms that are free. So we'll see exactly what he decides to do. It looks like here we're starting off by swinging 25k with Bardock the Tenacious into the Z card. It looks like we combo to 5k in order to keep him alive. Checking the size of the drop area in order to activate Overwhelm. Looks like we're going to see the uptick on the Unison here, and we're going to move 2 cards from the drop air warp into the drop area. We're going to see an Overwhelm 6 here. Out comes Man on the Mission, draw from the leader, burst from the Unison, move 3. That's all from leader and Unison right there. Swinging in with the 20 double strike crit. That, of course, is the super combo going to 25k. And not losing any card advantage while also protecting himself from that Overwhelm, which is pretty powerful. Next we see the Overwhelm 3 Vegeta revived Ravager, bursting 3 in the process, swinging for a 15k crit into the leader. That damage is dealt while smacking the secret rare from the life. Now that is amazing crit right there. Now he doesn't have to worry about things like that going into future turns, especially considering next turn will be his turn 4. So it's only like a turn and a half away. So definitely a great crit there. And then of course following up these overwhelms is the Max Saiyan. Coming out for 1 energy is a 20k critical on the turn he's played, while also warping cards from the battle area for the duration of a turn. Of course targeting the Z leader with that effect. very powerful, or Z card with that effect very powerful because it does remove from game instead of go to the warp for a turn. Anyways, swinging with that 20k crit, that bad boy does, of course, deal damage. And then after that, we're going to see the 2 energy effect in order to play Dark Broly from our warp. This guy does get rid of the last remaining card in Cumber's battle area. And then from there, it looks like we just passed turn. And the overwhelms do go to the warp, while the cards that were played without overwhelm do stay. So we got Dark Broly and Max Saiyan still in the play. Of course, we still have the 2 cards played by Cumber into the battle area, and then in Bardock Tenacious. Looks like we're starting off with 1 energy and 1 Z energy in order to go into the Fu and Z stack ourselves another Cumber. We'll see what he decides to do here. Paying 1, it looks like, in order to play the Cumber out from underneath. Cumber on play, of course, will give something Servant, choosing his big old Broly. Give him Servant, bottom deck him with the Overlord skill from one of those bad boys in order to draw a card. Swinging with him next in order to give another card Servant, which I imagine here he will choose his Bardock the Tenacious to keep him in rest mode. The bigger the attacker, the more of a chance that he's choosing that card in order to lock. Yep, so there goes Bardock the Tenacious, now a Servant, staying in rest mode during the next charge phase. That 15k was directed at the Unison, so that Unison does lose a marker during that interaction here. It looks like here we're swinging once again into the Unison. 15k, of course, auto does go off in order to draw a card. That damage is dealt to the Unison, putting it down to 1 marker. And it looks like we are putting combos into our 1-cost Fu attack in order to really get rid of that Unison. Forcing our Kai player here to use the leader effect in order to replay his Unison next turn is definitely a big thing when it comes to trying to stall the game plan of what Kai is trying to do here. So not a bad bet, but definitely took a lot of the aggression off the leader, leaving Kai at a total of 4 life still, just staying very high. None of those lives were really damaged or even dealt towards him. So it looks like here we're going to see the 2 energy effect in order to play the big ol' SS3 Cumber. This bad boy gives essentially everything Servant. From there we do see the activation of a block from Vegeta. And then there we'll see the second swing. Of course we chose dual attack double strike. In case you guys don't know, you get to choose the option between triple strike and then dual attack and double strike. Most efficient way to utilize that card, of course, is choosing dual and double. Here we are passing turn, going into turn 5 for Supreme Kai of Time here. Kai starting off by swinging with his leader, 15k to 15k. I'd imagine this is put into the leader here. Kai did go down to 2 life here after taking a double strike from that 30k Cumber, so more than likely having to find his end to this match during this turn, or else he will probably lose. That is one of the biggest downfalls to black, is it's such a great color when it comes to being an aggressive color and having toolboxes on your turn, but unfortunately if you overextend you do fall very easily into what we call the clapback. So we'll see exactly what it decides to do. We're going to see 1 energy effect in order to discard a Super Kamehameha in order to play the Unison with the leader. Of course, right after that we're going to see the activation of Overwhelm to play out the boy, and bursting the secret rare. What a great burst. Now we just got to see an Overwhelm in order to put it in the warp and turn him on. Very, very powerful burst. Swinging with the 20k double strike crit, we'll see what Cumber decides to do in order to survive this attack. It looks like he does not negate, so we do see a super combo here, putting this to a 30 double strike crit. We'll see how many cards Cumber is willing to use in order to keep these cards in his life. So we got 30-40 double strike crit. We're going to see a super combo going to 25. And it looks like we still got to take it. Those 2 lives going to the drop area did not draw another super combo or any more combo pieces in order to combo out of that attack. Here we do see the Overwhelm 6 for Goku. Of course, this Goku does grab anything 3 cost to 7 cost from the warp. And a very, very powerful effect. In case you guys do not know, also the Cumber Secret Rare, or Evil Saiyan I should say, does not deal a damage if your opponent is above or is under 2 life. So unfortunately you can't just play that and get that burn to win. You definitely got to play some type of cards that attack and deal damage. So we see the attack there, 30k. We see Cumber combo out of it with all 5ks. We now know that he is very, very in a bad place. We're going to go all in on a secret rare in order to combo up to maximum power. So that's 40, 55, and Cumber has no combo power. With that being said, guys, Kai wins this. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.